So you know that I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to roll. You know I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. You know that I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to roll. You know I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
What's up, ladies and gents? It's your boy Daddy Fino of the Daddy Fino Flash Podcast, and I'm here today to show you guys something new to provide some new content for the YouTube page. You see, me and JT Flash, we decided to do something a little different. You see, we each are gonna have a section on the YouTube page for us to discuss topics that you know we don't even get to talk about. Maybe we ran out of time, or we just didn't have time to include it. This is our section and our opportunity to rant about things, and we're gonna each have our own little thing. So for my section, I'm calling it When the Real Gets Rough. And the reason why I call it When the Real Gets Rough is this is gonna be my opportunity to say what the truthful facts are. You see, a lot of people in the media or just on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, they don't say what they really want to feel. They just say things, because it's the correct way. Well, nah, none of that BS is going down here on my show. See, when the real gets rough, we gonna get rough as hell in this. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because I'm just tired of it. So the first topic that I'm gonna be talking about is pretty simple. See, I got a message from my boy Mike Rich. Shout out to him. He sent me this article where it was speaking about how Daryl Morey of the Houston Rockets, the GM, okay, is making all his players available. Clint Capella. You got PJ Tucker, Eric Gordon, even Chris Paul, just among the few names that are probably going to be available. And I'm going to assume off of that means James Harden isn't available. And you know what? He's a superstar. I get that. I understand. But I'm going to get more on him later. I find that a little interesting and kind of stupid, to be honest. You see, the Houston Rockets, they unfortunately played the Warriors in the second round. Last year, they played them in the Western Conference Finals. They weren't able to take that next step to make it to the finals, to overcome the Warriors. And I know what a lot of people are thinking. Well, how can they? I mean, they lost to the Warriors without KD. KD got hurt. Nothing we can do about that. And they still failed. Well, this is what I think. Honestly, people want to point to the coach. They want to point to Mike D'Antoni. He's never made it. He's not the coach. His play style, or his coaching style, I should say, is not good enough to make it that way. To make it to make that next step to go to the finals and win a championship. And I'll be honest, I kind of disagree with that. But let's just not put the blame on him. Okay? Yes, he has his faults. Don't get me wrong. A pure offensive style is not going to win you a championship. You got to have some defense. But let's not forget that they do have defensive players on that team that actually did play well. Clint Capella, although started slow, played really well towards the end of the series. You got PJ Tucker, who played well. Eric Gordon, who played well. Chris Paul had a bad series until Game 6, where he stepped up. And speaking of stepping up, that's where I want to get into my ranting, because the ranting part is not about the players, all the other players on the Houston Rockets. It's not about Mike D'Antoni. No, my rant is specifically about you. You, Beard. You, James Harden. I'm supposed to fear the beard. That's your slogan, I guess. Fear the beard. Well, in the playoffs, I don't fear you, James Harden. I don't think anyone should. Now, I get it. Let's think about it. James Harden, he had, 30 plus points. He was averaging a high number of assists and rebounds. He was doing his thing. Or was he? Was he? I mean, let's be honest. You call yourself a superstar. You say you're a top 5 player. Some people argue you could be the best in the world. Yet, I don't see it. To me, you're not a top 5 player. You never was. I mean, let's just go back in time a little bit. Let's go back to game, what was it, game 6 or 7? I can't remember the exact game, but I think it was game 6 against the Spurs. You choked. You shot terrible. You got blocked by Ginobili to end the game. I mean, it was the all time choke. Well, not the all time. Sorry, LeBron, but that goes to you. But you know, you didn't show up. Now let's go back to last year. Last year, game 6, Chris Paul goes. Well, he goes down. Yeah, it was game 6. I think he goes down game 5. Okay, you're up 3-2 though. You lose in the Warriors. That's understandable. Losing game 6 in Oracle, I understand. That's a hard place to win. But let's go to game 7. Game 7 in your house. Okay? Where the fuck were you, James Harden? I don't know. I don't see him. I didn't see him on the court. I mean, let's say, yeah, I know they lost by 9 points, but they missed 27 straight threes. And that includes James Harden. I mean, let's be honest. James Harden, you need to just step the fuck up. You need to step your game up because what you're doing is terrible. Your numbers are similar to the regular season. Yes. Can't argue that. But if you're a superstar, if you're a man that can do, you know, that can lead your team, then you got to do better than what you do in the regular season. That's why it's the playoffs. In the playoffs, the superstars rise up. Look at Steph Curry. Steph Curry had no points, yes, in game 6. But then he said, nah, fuck that. I'm about to go out. Drop 33 second half. Led his team without KD to beat your team. Your team. I mean, let's be honest. Oh, and did I mention it was in your house? Forgot to mention that. So all the finger blaming and finger pointing and all the blame is going to everyone else. But I think we need to look in the mirror. If I was you, James Harden, and just look at you, because let's be honest, you ain't shown up. You never have, and I question one day if you ever will. So Daryl Morey wants to get rid of your other players. That to me, that's just pointing the blame at them, and it ain't their fault. It really ain't, because they're supposed to look to their leader. If their leader is not stepping up, why should they? Or how could they? You know, that's just not what you're supposed to do. If you're the leader, you're the superstar, you want to be the best in the world. Now, let's get to the possible trades that can happen. I'm hearing things about moving Chris Paul. How the hell are you going to move Chris Paul? Let's be honest. Chris Paul is what, 34 years old? He has 3 year, 124 million left on his contract, which means he's going to be paying. He's going to be basically be paid about 40 mil a year. I think in his last year he's going to be up to 46 when he'll be 36 years old. You ain't moving him. You know, I heard something about, whoa, maybe they'll move him to the Lakers, trade him for Lonzo Ball. And why the hell would you do that? Lonzo Ball is kind of like the younger Chris Paul in a way. They have similar play styles. They're past first point guards. That didn't work in Houston. Having Chris Paul there, it didn't work. You know, they won a lot of games, but they could never take that next step. So what is it that you need to do? Trade Clint Capella. Let me see. Clint Capella, a dominant big man on the defensive end who can score some buckets. He can get you 15 to 10 any night with about 2-3 blocks a game. That to me is a centerpiece of a team. Definitely, maybe not the focal, maybe not the superstar, but that's the player you need on your team to win the championship. Let's see, PJ Tucker. Are you really gonna get much for PJ? Nah, I wouldn't. I mean, at most, I'll trade maybe a second round pick for him. You know, but that's it. I mean, you're not gonna get nothing for PJ. Eric Gordon making 14 mil a year. Good player. He's a scoring guard. Yeah, you could get something for him. Nothing great. I mean, there's plenty of players. I can find an Eric Gordon anywhere in the NBA. So you're not gonna get much for Eric Gordon. So what can you really do? So that leaves James Harden. Would you trade James Harden if you're the Houston Rockets? Me? No, I wouldn't. He's still a superstar caliber player. You know, I'm not going to deny that. I just don't know if he's a superstar caliber player in the playoffs. Because yeah, 30 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds is nice. Don't get me wrong, but if that's not winning, then what good is it? That's just my personal opinion on that. But you know what? I just think the whole thing is stupid. If they could somehow move Chris Paul, that would be a miracle. And Daryl Morey should win GM of the Year just for that. But at the end of the day, the one thing I say, keep it going. Hope that KD leaves the Warriors. That leaves the Warriors sort of vulnerable. I mean, not really. It drops them down. They're not unbeatable anymore. Now they're just a finals contender, a championship contending team that you could possibly beat. I say just keep the team. But that's just me. Maybe add a couple rookies or something, try to get a couple picks. But at the end of the day, this all boils down to you, James Harden. You need to step your game up, bro. Because you trash right now. I'm sorry. I don't care about 30 points. I don't care about the 8 rebounds, 8 assists, or the 4 steals. I'm looking at the 4 missed free throws that you missed in Game 6 this year. I'm looking at the bad shooting percentage that you had. That's what I'm looking at. But that's just me. We shit on Russell Westbrook. Maybe it's time that we start shitting on you. Fear the beard? Nah. Maybe you need to cut that off. Maybe they'll give you a new beginning. I don't know. Do something. But at the end of the day, it's all on you, bro. And that's the end of my rant. That's when the real gets rough. Episode 1. We out here. Peace.
Your boy Jay, your boy getting dressed, fresh outfit, nevertheless, my swag so sick, walk out the door, hop in the whip, jeans full of dough, so you know that I'm ready to roll, I'm ready to roll, I'm ready to roll, I'm ready to roll, you know I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go, you know that I'm ready to roll, I'm ready to roll, I'm ready to roll, I'm ready to roll, you know I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. Fresh tee and a pair of jeans, you know I got the kicks to match my clothes. Gotta grab the keys to the whip and it's time for me to head up out the door. Hey,